Some of you may get a little frustrated because your neighbor doesn't hurt and you do, and you don't understand the difference. Well, I'm going to be providing you a PDF at the bottom of this email. And I talk about how far under the water line are you. For instance, if I were to say to a patient, I can see the water level and I look down at you and I can't see you, I can guesstimate you're 60, 70 feet below the water line because of toxic loads or challenges that you've had. But when you start to unload some of those challenges, when you start to improve certain conditions in your life, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I can see you. You're coming up, and now I can see you right below the surface of the water, and finally you pop up. And sometimes what happens is until you actually pop up from the water level, you don't feel good until then. And I call this getting the rocks out of your backpack, getting the rocks out of life. What do I mean by that? Well, some of you may come in to see me and really have very little wrong except a joint that's restricted. Some of you may come in to see me and have a litany of conditions, of challenges and multiple areas of pain over years and years, and food sensitivities and depression and challenges with relationships, right? So if you're someone who may be in a rough relationship and you're just going to counseling, that's awesome. But if you also are gluten insensitive and if your gut's been challenged by radiation, or if you have become grossly addicted to sugar as a way to keep you awake and your pancreas is working overtime, your insulin levels are nutty, or maybe you've been dehydrated forever, or you were exposed to an excessive amount of heavy metals as a kiddo and your liver is congested, or you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that people can bring in their backpack, and I may say to them, hey, you know what, let's start here. Let's get some water in your system and maybe reduce, for example, gluten because of your colon condition. And then you do that for 30 days and you say, yeah, that just didn't help. I've done this. It doesn't help. Sometimes what I want you to understand is you have to keep focusing on getting the next rock out of your backpack, the next rock out of your backpack, the next rock out of your backpack, and all of a sudden, boosh, you're light enough and you surface. And now you get from a place of pain all the time and frustration, as you get closer to the surface, hope. And you get to the top of the water, your head pops up, that's where pain-free living exists. So please try not to compare yourself with others, because we all come to this situation where we finally seek care with wholly different backgrounds and wholly different genetic predispositions, and just try to investigate what it is that you bring in your backpack, and then be patient with yourself and slowly make the changes you need and know that you can feel great again. So thanks.